buddies? I'm here at the Bajaj test track in Pune, and I'm very lucky because I get to test the Pulsar 250cc motorcycle. Now, Pulsars have been the most loud performance oriented motorcycles in our country, and also they have been the motorcycles which have been available at an affordable cost. That is the reason Pulsar has gained that mass following, and Pulsar owns a very special place in my heart because back in 2002 when the Pulsar 180 was launched, and it shook up the Indian motorcycle industry because that time it was the most powerful motorcycle, and my dad had gifted that motorcycle to me on my 18th birthday. After all the different variants of Pulsar, this is the biggest engine that Pulsar ever had, and a sweet spot, that is 250cc, because most of the Pulsar riders they use the motorcycle for everyday commute, weekend rides, and even touring. So if the engine is 180cc or 200cc, sometimes you feel that you don't have enough power. And in case you have a motorcycle which is 350 or 375 or 400cc, today because of the very high fuel cost, petrol cost that we pay, it becomes very difficult on our pocket when the fuel efficiency is less of a 350 or a 400cc motorcycle. But 250 is a sweet spot, and 250cc engine variant is an internationally accepted variant. So let's talk about this Pulsar Naked 250. Now, I'm not going to go over the technical specifications because you can read it on the Bajaj website, but the most interesting points. This is a 250cc which makes almost 25 bhp of power, and this is not a liquid cooled, means it does not have coolant running inside, but it is oil cooled. And trust me, oil cooling is way more reliable. In liquid cooling you have concerns like the coolant mixing with engine oil, and the coolant hoses sometimes cracking, radiator fan sometimes failing, all of that. But in oil cooling, engine oil from the engine is sent into this radiator, and with natural air, when you're riding the motorcycle, the engine oil cools down. That way your engine remains in a optimum temperature to ride. Another fact which I absolutely love is they still have the manual tachometer, the RPM meter, because today people like everything digital, but the pleasure, the fun, the feeling of actually having the manual tachometer's needle go up when you open throttle, wow, it's a different feeling altogether. Also, I love technology, but I don't like unnecessary bells and whistles. That is, very often manufacturers emphasize on the fact that you can connect and pair your mobile phone to your motorcycle and you can see missed calls, and messages on the display console. I'm not a fan of that. Honestly, when I'm riding a motorcycle, I want to focus on riding and enjoying it. But yes, when you're commuting, probably getting a display of phone call on the display console can help. But the easiest way, the most efficient way to do it is actually mount your cell phone onto the handlebar of the motorcycle. As simple as that. So this motorcycle, the Pulsar 250, does not have any of those so-called fancy features where you can connect your mobile phone to the motorcycle using Bluetooth. This motorcycle also comes with slipper clutch, which is very useful when you do hard downshifts, and it only comes with a single channel ABS for the front wheel, which I think is fine because most of the time when you're riding a motorcycle, what you're scared of is if you're braking hard when it's raining or in sand or gravel, you are concerned about the front wheel locking up and your motorcycle skidding and you're falling, correct? Now let's talk about the brakes. I already mentioned that this motorcycle has a single channel ABS for the front wheel, and also you see a new name on the brake calipers. Earlier days you used to see by Bree, but now you have GRIMECA. I have ridden this motorcycle on the test track here, and I can say that the brakes have performed really well. I hit top speeds of 134 kilometers an hour, and I only had to touch the front brake only with one finger, and the brakes performed really well. Now let's talk about the tires. We get MRF tires, and the rear is 130 and the front is 100. And when we're talking about the traction, you see this tire we have ridden on the racetrack, the test track here at the Bajaj facility, and we were able to corner really well and confidently. So this tire can be used for high-speed cornering on a racetrack if you ever take your motorcycle to a racetrack or highway, and for daily commuting also this tire is going to be good. And water displacement grooves here are going to perform very well in monsoons. The most important thing about riding a motorcycle for commuting is having torque, because you need to be able to overtake in bad traffic conditions. So this motorcycle absolutely performs very well there. You get 21.5 Newton meters of torque at 6,500 RPM. Wow! The top RPM on this motorcycle, you can go up to about 9,000. So if you're getting the full torque at 6,500, it means you don't really have to rev all the way up. You open throttle and you get torque, which is absolutely awesome. Not just for city commute, but even when you take this motorcycle onto mountain roads. You can corner, and to get out of corner, you need torque. Since we spoke about city commute, this motorcycle probably can get you about 35 kilometers a liter in city commute. That is what Bajaj people mentioned. But even if you're getting about 32 or 33, it is still fine, because this motorcycle is going to make you smile. And for a motorcycle which can be used for commuting and also for highway rides, that fuel efficiency is good. But on the highway, Bajaj said they were getting about 39, so you probably would be able to get about 34 or 35 on the highway. And the fuel tank capacity is 14 liters. So 14 liters, if you're getting about 32 to 35 kilometers on the highway, the range is pretty good. You can go a long way on a full tank. You also get this charging USB here, which is very useful, so that you can just buy a good mount for the cell phone, which you can keep it here on the handle, and you can route your USB cable from here. What I personally love about Pulsars is that they are not very smooth, because we hardcore bikers love that grunt, the feel, the sound from a real motorcycle. And this Pulsar, although it has a lot of advancements compared to 2002 180 Pulsar that I had, I still have, but it does give you that hardcore raw feel which we love. And the headlight, the front of the motorcycle is beautiful. Okay, single headlight, you see here. And now regarding the seat, it is comfortable for long commutes. All day you can ride this motorcycle. You don't need an additional air cushion or gel cushion seat. Plus the seat height, a very important factor. Now this motorcycle has one of the lowest seat heights, so that riders of all heights can ride this motorcycle without having to tiptoe. What I personally love about the looks of this motorcycle is that the original look of Pulsar has not been taken away, although it has been updated to match the looks of a 2021 year motorcycle. Also, the front fender. This is known as a floating fender, they say. Okay, you see here, it is a two-piece. It is not a single piece. This is black and this is red, and it is actually a two-piece. Very nice touch given by Bajaj here. And the most important factor, that is the price point. This motorcycle, like all other Pulsars is priced very well. 1,38,000 rupees ex showroom. Now, on-road price will depend on the taxes of your specific state. Buddies, you all know that I'm very specific about technology and about motorcycles and their engines. But very few people know that I'm also very specific about my hair. Yes, that is the reason I have been looking for a hair shampoo which is specifically made for men. We have been using hair shampoos which have been specifically designed for women, and we've been doing it for decades. But here is a hair shampoo which is indeed designed for men. Now you would say, what is so special about hair shampoos designed for men? Well, if you read about this and understand science, we gotta know about paraben free. Now what is paraben free? It simply means that this is organic and it does not have the chemicals which would cause long-term bad effect on a man's scalp hair. Also, this shampoo has DHT blocker, that is dihydrotestosterone. Now it is very, very critical for this thing to be blocked in a man's shampoo. You can do detailed research about it. I will leave links about this in the description of my video. Plus, I'm also using biotin tablets. Now, you would say, what is this? Well, you all know that apart from the food that we take, we also need to supplement our diet. All right, we take vitamin supplements, we take calcium supplements and all that. And biotin supplement is very important for your hair. These two products you can buy from the company's website. The link is there again in my description.